What's in your head? Tell me something better left unsaid. Tell me something worth my time instead of all the usual. I'm tired of all the usual over and over again. Everyday nonsense. Everyday nonsense. Everyday nonsense. Everyday nonsense.
Okie lunatics. Welcome back to the Everyday Nonsense Podcast. I'm Mike Mundy here with Matt Santarbia.
Hey-o!
And we are coming to you from the Big Blue Pinstripe Saloon to bring you a ridiculously special Halloween spooktacular.
This is scary. This is very scary.
We've been looking forward to this for a long, long time.
And later we're going to change into costumes.
Hey-o!
Hey-o!
But for the special occasion, we brought in a very, very special guest, Matt.
Oh,
Finally.
this is a big, big find for us.
It's been a long, long time. You know, we decided
Star
that
of
what...
stage, screen,
and
big
Javits
screen,
Center.
the little screen, right? A lot of screens. My screen door.
My brother, Jim Mundy.
They are related, yet they look totally opposite and different.
Absolutely.
Completely different.
So welcome to the saloon. Welcome to the podcast. Long
Jim
time
Mundy,
coming.
ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
I'm honored to be here.
It's hard for me to clap in this getup.
Yeah, well, I can see
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've been trying to get you on for a long time, Jim, but we decided that, you know what, we have this huge spooktacular
Yeah,
coming
this
up.
is a very spooky show.
By the way, if you are not watching on YouTube right now and you are listening wherever you're listening, we are in full costume
We're in
tonight.
full Halloween
You know it.
spectacular costumes.
Right,
All
we've
on
got
menu,
Gomez
right?
Addams over here.
Oh,
Jim is Gomez.
very
That's
nice,
right.
Jim Mundy.
Thank you,
Very sharp.
Thank you. I
Very
had to part
nice.
my hair right in the middle.
Yeah, that's good. You could wear that.
I could.
Matt came as Fat Elvis.
Yeah. Actually, I came as Fat Elvis, but then I changed it to Grandpa Munster.
Right. So he's
So I have two
Grandpa Munster.
costumes.
And I chose to go Groundskeeper Willie on the night the Treehouse of Horror episode, Justice Freddy Krueger.
Look at those. Look at that hair.
So small disclaimer, I'm sure these costumes will be coming off piece by piece.
Yeah.
Well, let's not get too risque.
That's-
But I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how Dracula, we were talking about this earlier, wears a costume like this.
Yeah, I don't know how he
I
gets
mean, it's a
around.
cape, it's a vest, it's a lot to do.
Yeah, well, sure. But
A medallion. I like the medallion.
That does make
And I like the cape. Is it slenderizing, you think?
Only from
No?
behind.
Yeah.
Only from behind. Yeah. Well, I may continue to wear the cape. My wife wanted me to pick the kids up from school in the cape today. But
Why
I have to
today?
dr- I have to draw a line. I know,
why
right?
today?
My neighbors think I'm crazy enough.
Yeah. Anyway, being on YouTube is really exciting for us. We're trying to do that a little bit more often, so we hope that it's a good look for you as well as it's a good hear for you. I know we've been told that we have voices for podcasts or faces for podcasts.
Yeah,
I
we
should
have
say.
faces for radio. All right, Jim?
You got it.
Yeah.
But so Halloween is very, very soon.
Yeah, it's in a couple of weeks.
Right. It's a big, big deal. I feel like it's a lot bigger of a deal than it used to be when
Oh,
we
way
were
Oh
bigger,
my
way
gosh.
bigger.
I don't remember even doing anything on Halloween.
Oh, I remember going out.
We wore
Halloween all the
costumes
time.
that would kill you, those masks with the staples
Yeah,
in
yeah.
them. I mean, we
yeah,
didn't
those
have
little,
fancy
little
stuff.
breathing holes in them.
Right,
in the middle
right.
There.
If you were lucky.
You get a couple of, and you sweat.
The rubber
that
band
way,
would
it just-
snap, and then you have to walk around with holding your
Holding it
mask
up.
up. Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The thing that was great about, well, great and a curse, that we went
A
to
blessing
Catholic
and
school.
a curse,
Yes.
as they say.
Right, going to Catholic school, especially in elementary school, we always had the day after Halloween off because it was All
Right.
Saints
And we
Day.
all share that. We all went to Catholic
Yeah.
school, which is
Yeah.
rare these days.
Right, which was great once we got to high school, and that is compliments of a Facebook message sent to us from Kara Kaminsky, so thanks, Kara, for reaching
Kara
out to us. We told her
Kaminsky.
we'd drop it. But the thing that makes me laugh about that, and Jim will appreciate this too, because we went to the same elementary school
That's true.
in
Well,
our
how
town.
many years apart are you guys again?
4.
Oh, that's it?
4 or 5.
Wow.
4, because I was a freshman, you were out.
Because Jim looks
Oh,
like
right,
such a
'cause-
distinguished gentleman.
Yeah.
It's like he's 40 years older, for gosh
Yeah, the
sake.
gene pool got used all up on
I don't
him.
know what
Yeah,
happened.
well,
Not much
I'm a
left for
milkman's
me.
kid, so that's the thing. I don't got anybody else in my family.
But anyway, Matt, here's the funny thing about the Catholic school, right? We weren't allowed to acknowledge Halloween
No,
in Catholic
no, it's the
school.
devil's holiday.
So what we had to do in our school was on Halloween, we had to dress, do you remember this, as
I do.
our patron saint.
I do.
Right, we had to
remember
dress
that.
as
I
our
remember
patron
that.
saint.
Right.
And I
We
always
never
had-
did that in
You
my
never did
school.
that?
No, we didn't, but I had friends who did it.
We had to get the sandals, right? We had to do the whole 9 yards.
Well, see, here's the thing, man. All the other boys got to use their cassock from being an altar boy.
Right.
And whatever shoes they wore, their sandals, right?
everyone is Moses.
Well, hey, my patron saint is St. Michael the Archangel.
Oh, I like
So
that.
don't you know, this chubby fourth grader had to chug along the halls in all white with big cardboard wings. I'm
Lovely.
plumbing and everything.
That's right.
I'm getting made fun of constantly every year. I'm like, why do I have? There has to be another St. Michael.
I'll tell you,
Oh,
should have
they're
wore a cape.
Right, I left the halo on the bus every year on purpose. Like, I'm not wearing it. Absolutely not wearing it. So you didn't have to do that in California.
No, we didn't have to do that, but we did have the day after off. I remember that.
Did you
We
do
didn't have to
anything at
that.
all on Halloween?
No, we didn't do anything at all. I mean, we had a little like Halloween, like I don't want to say party, but it was almost like a Halloween party. We were very, liberal branch of the church.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so anyway, along with being our spooktacular today, it's a little tiny bit of a milestone for us. We are
It's
recording
our-
our 20th full-length episode.
Oh, I thought it was
today.
our
Done, nicely
1000th
done.
show.
Yeah, so that's
Oh.
very exciting for us, but we do have guests here, Matt. We need to get into it a little bit.
Yeah,
With
and
Jim, we need to let
Jim.
everybody know a little bit about him.
Star of. Oh, I did that already.
Right, right.
Stage.
That's right. I don't mind hearing it. Whatever.
So we've mentioned that Jim is a performer.
Yes.
And
a
instead of us
professional.
trying to exactly explain it, it's like, I can't explain what my father does to this day.
I still don't
You know,
know what your father does.
So let's give Jim a few minutes to
Yeah.
fill us
explain
in
what
on
you do.
some awesome experiences that you've had. I know you've floated around, but what are some awesome places or some great, interesting stories that you have about performing?
Just recently, you were in great places,
Yeah, where?
right? Weren't you in that theater that Mike likes?
Which
What
one?
was that?
What theater?
Red Rocks.
Oh, yeah,
right,
that's
Red
right.
Rocks.
That's
You
the
sent the
best
picture
thing.
from Red
I
Rocks?
was in Red Rocks.
Right, how was
I did
that?
not perform there, although it's pretty cool.
I
to
thought you were
see.
performing there.
I would have loved to.
You were opening for the Doobie Brothers, I heard.
Yeah, it was no, well, it wasn't. Who was there that day? It was this weird kind of cover band of I think the Grateful Dead.
Oh, really?
We're gonna play that.
Oh, maybe
no
it's
way.
Yeah,
there.
man. Yeah. Yeah, it was really gonna be cool, but I wasn't there for that. So what can you do?
Well, you got a
What
good
can you
shot,
do?
though.
I did.
Yes.
I did. So you want to know a little bit about my my path? Huh? It's a weird. I've had a very strange career because I started years ago when I got out of college. I said, well, what am I going to do? I was working in a deli, and I landed up in Disney World.
Figarelli's Deli.
Oh, I
That's
thought
right.
it was
Figarelli's
the
Deli.
Catskills.
You know, I wonder if Figarelli's is still around.
It is, in fact, my daughter's best friend lives around the block from Figarelli's.
Oh, really?
We pass it constantly.
Wow.
I
look
gotta
at
go
that.
and check that out.
Shout out to
Irish place?
Figarelli's.
All right, figs. Anyway, so I went down to Disney. I landed up in the entertainment department. I thought I'd be there for a couple of years and then find my way into like resort and hotel management. I figured I could go anywhere in the world with that. And then 7 years into it, I said, oh, I'm still in entertainment. So I guess what I really came down there for was this.
Wow.
So the rest of my life, I've always found ways to just kind of continue to do that kind of performance work. I wouldn't say that I ever really made my living as a performer.
But you
except
do
that I
make your
did.
living as a performer.
Well, sort of. I mean, now.
You can't argue with Dracula.
Well, that's true. I'm not trying to argue with Dracula.
And if Dracula was here, he wouldn't.
Right.
That's
Or
true.
Grandpa
But
Munster.
you can argue with Fat Elvis.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. So I will argue.
You can argue with me,
I will
baby.
then. I will then. So yeah, but I mean, I've had some really cool, weird experiences. Like this being Halloween, there was a time where I was actually this Gomez Addams with my lovely wife Stuart.
Who's also a professional entertainer.
She is. She's more of a professional, I think, performer.
Well,
than
ain't
I
that
am.
the truth?
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, well,
That's what I'm saying. That's what
let's
I'm
not
saying.
get crazy, Jim.
But
Yeah.
she and I would go out as Gomez and Morticia and do kind of line comedy for a haunted house up in Tuxedo, New York.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did a lot of that. You both. I find it always fascinating that you're a couple, you're married, you have a child, and you perform together.
Yeah, we do
I mean,
a lot
that's
of
pretty
that kind
cool.
of stuff together. We find ways to.
You don't want to
still work
strangle your
together.
spouse every once in a while.
Well, it's funny because she's got a very kind of smart sort of sense of
Right.
humor, and I have a very
yeah,
sort of
because
sense
when
of
you're
humor.
together, you're like, oh my God, you missed the line.
So it's really good because she can kind of put things together, and then I can find ways to joke them up for dumb people like me.
Now, can we talk about?
That is a Mundy trait right there.
Can we talk about Stuart, your
Yes.
lovely wife?
Yes.
Can we talk about one of her big projects
Yes.
that I find fascinating,
Yeah,
and
right.
I own one,
Now-
and I think millions of people own one of these, ladies and
They
gentlemen.
do. They
Wait
do.
till you hear what she did.
Are you ready for this? She was the Snuggie lady.
She
The
was the
Snuggie
Snuggie
lady.
model
It's
on
true.
the cover, the box
It's
of that Snuggie, which basically was what? A sack you put over your
But
head?
not just any Snuggie, Matt. Not just any
The
Snuggie.
Snuggie Ultra.
She was, yes.
Right, I know. Look at me, I know my
Matt has done his
Snuggies.
research.
I've done my research.
Designer.
Yeah,
Snuggie.
design, which was a
right.
giant, and millions, I'm not joking.
Yeah, oh yeah, they sold
And what is
so
it, like
many
a
of
big
those
blanket
things.
you wear?
Yeah, it's got a blanket with sleeves. It's
A
exactly
blanket
what
with
it says
sleeves.
it is.
Right,
Truth
a
in
Snuggie.
advertising. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
love it.
I feel like there's been a million different Snuggies since the original now. Everybody's
There
just
have
kind of bandwagging it, right?
Yeah.
Well, everyone wants a piece of the action.
I mean,
We're
right.
going to make an everyday nonsense podcast Snuggie.
I don't know. They kind of stuck to each other though.
Why?
The actual product. The
Yeah, actually, I love them because they're very campy, but I never bought.
Like I put it.
I'm always hot.
If I put it on, I wouldn't say, "Oh, snuggie."
Yeah, I can't.
You know?
No.
I'm always. I don't need to have a blanket around me, even when it's very cold. I rarely put a blanket on.
Just the cape.
Just the cape.
Just the cape, yeah.
Just the cape and this medallion is all I wear.
So the other performing that I know that you've done, because we've spoken about it. First of all, Matt, this was funny. We did a little something together a few years ago called the Mud Brothers.
Oh wow!
gosh,
Look at
that's
that.
right.
That's your old vaudeville act.
I apologize on YouTube for the content, but
Yeah,
you know what?
if you can see
You know
Mike,
what?
you can
It's
see him
time.
on YouTube.
It's
Oh, he's
time.
taking
It's
his
time.
eyebrows
You did
off.
it.
ladies and
Eyebrows are
gentlemen.
done. And
Wow.
you know what? They probably look like they're still there.
Yeah, they do.
And if you think
Right.
Mike has a horrible red rash all over his face, that's the dye from the eyebrows. We thought he was having allergic
I know, I
reaction.
did.
Like, oh my God, what do you
Gotta
have, a
go to the
shrimp?
hospital again to do
Right.
something today.
Get my EpiPen ready.
Anyway, we did this program at like a small farm or whatever, but that was entertainment for elementary school kids. They would come on field trips, you know, and we were these brothers from these British brothers who just played around in the mud and did slapstick.
Wow, look at that.
Paid really well. It was fun. man.
Wow, so you entertained and got paid for it.
Yeah, it was
That's
fun.
like a dream come true.
Yes, that's the kind of stuff that we do, right? It's the small little stuff like that that makes a decent amount of money. It's a small commitment, and you're out.
Wow.
You know.
Now,
That's
Matt, are you
pretty
a Ren
cool.
Fair guy?
You know, I am not a Renaissance Fair guy. However, my wife of almost 20 years
Is a
was a
Renaissance
big
Fair guy.
Renaissance
Oh,
Fair
really?
person. And her
Does she
sister...
come all get dressed up?
No,
and
no,
everything?
not
She comes-
lately, but before,
Not lately, but
when
she did.
around when we started dating, there were Renaissance Fair pictures all around.
Oh,
and
wow.
They went a lot. I think a friend of hers did something with the swords or whatever. I was never into the Renaissance period.
Did she go
You know,
dressed up
anything
the whole
before
thing?
1950, I get
Yeah,
a
no,
little
that's-
nervous.
that's all-
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, why isn't there a
Right.
1950s
I don't.
fair?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the swords, the this, the that. I think there's no electricity. How could you live like this?
But the
How do you
turkey legs.
shower.
Oh
yeah.
man, turkey legs are good.
Yeah, no, it's one of the most popular festivals in the country.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of them all over.
It's
the
bigger
country.
than Woodstock.
Yes.
Right, right. That's what I heard.
Yes, that's what I heard.
Anyway, Jim did Renaissance Fair
Yeah,
for a while
for
with
a long
Stuart.
time.
And what
For a
did you
long
do? What characters?
Well, I did a few different characters as a rat catcher at one point. Bill Trapp, the rat catcher. That was my first character there. My claim to fame character there is a character named Norm.
Norm from
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well,
Norm.
I wish.
Here's
Oh.
the deal. Here's the deal, right? He was the local. He was the local guy who chopped off people's heads. The
Oh wow!
executioner,
See, that's
right?
what I mean. I can't celebrate
but here's
that
the thing.
time.
But here's the thing. I would go. I had it all dressed up. I looked like Marty Feldman.
Oh, right, wow,
That's how I was dressed
that's
up.
perfect.
Oh, I was picturing
Oh,
all leather.
Yeah, you had the hump.
Yeah,
and
like that,
everything.
like
Like
that.
the
I had,
gimp.
Yeah, I had a hump. I had a fake eye that I wore all the time, all around the place. And so I was Norm, but I was the most beloved man in the Shire. So even though I was the
Ooh, the
executioner,
Shire.
every
Look at
time,
that, Mike.
Yeah,
You're
you
like
got-
that. What is
you
Just
gotta be
explain
in-
to Mike what Shire is.
I know what a
And
Shire
Yeah, I
is.
think he's smart enough.
What's a Shire?
I'm not a vampire, but I know what a
That's
Shire
where the
is.
Renaissance Fair happens.
Oh, in
right?
the
That's
Shire?
little, yeah,
Is
that's
that what
It's
it's
like in
called? I'm not
Robin Hood.
joking. I've
Yeah.
heard of it, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah, Robin Hood lives in
Oh.
a Shire. That's
Right.
where we are. So
See, never a big Robin Hood guy either.
Don't you think I know what a Shire is?
Yeah, never
that
was
your
into
style?
Robin Hood.
No, not quite.
I don't know if that's an Indian accent.
Skibbish.
Yeah, I
I don't know what
don't
that
know.
was.
Anyway,
But
the Ren
anyway,
Fair.
so I'd go out there, and because I was the most beloved man, people would have to, every time they see me, they had to say, Norm!
Oh, wow.
So
Like,
that was
just
my
like,
bit.
yeah.
That was my
Good.
lifelong
I
dream.
was- so it was great. Everywhere I went, people loved me. I was
Too
forced
bad you're not
love. It was
500
amazing.
pounds and have a beer.
That's right. That's right.
So now
That's
you
really
also
cool.
you also have haunted house experience.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
that's so cool,
That's what I
you
started
know?
saying earlier.
Well,
we
tell
would
us
go
about
out and do
that.
this. So we'd go out and do the line stuff, right? The funny stuff outside. But every now and then we'd have to go inside and cover up for other people.
And
Now-
these are big haunted houses. Like,
well,
it's a big
it was
business.
a pretty big business when at the time. It was a pretty big business. And
This looks like a haunted house tonight. The
I know,
saloon.
it's
If
like
you're
amazing.
watching,
How about it?
I
Mike's
know.
changing lights.
We have
He's
some
putting.
changing
He's got a remote
backgrounds.
control.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing with that remote control.
Hopefully this really does make it to YouTube. Otherwise,
Right.
this is quite a
Yeah.
this was a lot.
Yeah,
right?
he's been
A lot.
working 2 weeks
Yeah.
on this saloon. So.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're
So
listening.
so when you work the line, Jim,
Yeah.
were you doing? You said funny stuff or not spooky stuff?
Yeah, so we weren't doing
Like
spooky
card
stuff then, but
tricks
when,
and-
when we'd have to go inside, then we'd have to be spooky, right?
Ooh.
And here was the deal: we were told by our leader at the time there that whatever happened, the goal every night was to make somebody vomit.
Really?
Yeah, the idea
Were
was
you allowed to
scare
grab
them enough.
people?
No, you couldn't grab
Oh,
anybody.
okay, that's
But
good.
the idea was scare them enough to either piss themselves,
Wow.
or poop their pants, or vomit.
That's it. That's
was
the goal. You
that
wanna
was the goal.
exceed
That gets you a raise.
That was the goal. But I couldn't quite get into that, so if I had to go in, I'd go in as this Norm character. I wouldn't go in as going as Addams.
Right, right, yeah,
Scared of
yeah,
that,
too-
right?
too-
Right.
So I go in as this Norm character, but I'd hide behind a chair. Right, and then people would come through the whole house, through the whole room, and they'd be scared, waiting for something to jump out at them. and I'd wait until just before the last person came up, and because I had this giant eye that just looked like it hurt all the time,
gosh.
I'd jump out and I'd go, Visine! And I'd jump out of their skins and then turn around and say, did you just say Visine? You know, so...
See, if that was the prerequisite, I think I would wait in the bathroom for people to scare them.
Yeah, I love it.
Like,
I love those haunted
yeah.
houses.
People would crap all the time.
Yeah.
I get a big kick out of it. Even though I'm scared, and I can't watch like really scary movies. You know,
Yeah.
the Munsters is my limit. However, I love those haunted houses. I think it's
Well,
great.
one of the coolest things we could do at the end of the night was we'd walk backwards through the house, right?
Ooh.
Because we'd be the people that tell everybody we're clear, right? So you'd see all the vampires all coming around, all scary and everything else, and we come around and go, we're clear, and they go, oh, okay, great, thanks very much, see you tomorrow night.
They
Yeah,
wanted to
that's
get a
really
beer
cool.
stand.
Did they have a chainsaw at the end?
Not
Gotta
at
have
the
a
end,
guy-
but we
Oh,
had
they didn't have a guy
we
chasing?
We had this big woman who walked around
Oh,
with the
watch
chainsaw.
out.
And somebody tried to sue them because they said they hurt them with the chainsaw. They cut them with the chainsaw. Of course, the chainsaw had the guard on it the whole time, and nothing, no gas, no nothing. You couldn't actually
Oh
do
my
anything
God.
with it.
Oh, but it was a legit chainsaw?
Oh, it was a legit chainsaw.
No
I
props
was
there, huh?
Yeah.
No kidding. Years ago, I went to a haunted house, one of those big ones. I was with a guy that got mad at the character, like the Wolfman.
Oh,
What are
yeah,
you trying to scare me, Wolfman?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I couldn't believe he was yelling at them.
It's
like he was
dangerous.
on
It's
I'm like, I
dangerous
can't
being
believe
one of
this
those
guy
people.
is
Yeah.
seriously yelling at the Wolfman. Like
Yeah,
he's supposed
yeah.
to chase you. You're in a haunted house. Like I couldn't believe it. I remember it till this day.
I know people.
People get
decked,
mad.
You know, people get decked.
Yeah,
as a result of
they
it. Yeah.
why
it's-
go
it's-
into a
it's
haunted house? You're
dangerous.
gonna beat up the Wolfman.
There's a lot of articles online with pictures of the injuries that the
Yeah.
workers there have sustained.
Really?
Yep.
Did
Oh,
you ever
yeah.
get hit?
Insane, dude.
No, I
You
never
ever
got
get a
that.
knuckle sandwich?
No, I never.
A
did.
knuckle sandwich.
I don't know.
I'll give you 5 good reasons. My daughter's not huge into the haunted houses. She just did one. I wasn't there for it, and she basically gouged out her softball
Right.
coach's eyes
Oh, really?
going through because she
She
knows.
couldn't
She
do
goes
it.
hysterical at it,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
bet.
I went to
Luckily,
one
a
at
lot of the
Sleepy
actors
Hollow.
understand, but they don't all, man.
Yeah.
Some of the actors are, like you said,
Oh, I know.
I have not made this girl crap herself
Oh,
yet,
they've
Right,
upped the
right.
so
game.
I am
Yeah.
going to keep going.
Yeah, no question.
So
So
it
she
doesn't
grabs
count
herself.
with elderly people because if you're elderly, they might do that anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
Right, like if I'm going into a haunted house, even in the line, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, well, yeah,
right,
because they're
exactly. I mean,
incontinent.
that's a
you know,
normal thing.
it's- Yeah, yeah. So you're going up to Sleepy Hollow?
I went to the haunted house there.
All
That
right.
was the best one I've ever been to. At the end of the haunted house, they had a headless horseman come out with smoke and
Yeah.
spooky lights. I went with my family. My wife and daughter could not make it. They got their money
Okay.
back. They said, we'll wait for you. My son went with me. He was 11 at the time.
Uh-huh.
I held him in my arms as we walked through. But the characters came close and were like, I'll kill you. But when they got to him, they winked. It was great. Like they
yeah,
broke a
yeah,
little,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they were scary, but when they got
Yeah.
really close, they gave him a wink or a smile. I was
Yep.
like, wow, isn't that cool? So they made
It
it,
is.
even though it was scary, I've never seen something like that.
Right.
They made it very cool for him.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
never
that's what you
forget
gotta
that.
do.
Yeah,
That's very
that
cool.
was
That's
cool.
very cool.
Yeah, because they saw he was a little kid. But he did it. He did the whole thing.
Right?
He hasn't been the same since, though.
Yeah, well,
No. He wants a chainsaw. I
I'm
don't
actually
know
going
why.
up there this Sunday.
Are you really?
Yeah,
Did
you
that
know
haunted
why?
house?
You know why?
Why? You're
Because
performing.
I am.
Are you the headless
Oh, get outta
horseman?
here.
I'm going in for one day.
That's what my son's
Sunday.
going to be this year. the
Yeah,
headless
I'm
horseman.
going to be. No, I'm not going to be that.
Oh.
I'm going to be. I'm
How will
told,
we ever know?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You could be. There's no head.
No, I'm told that I will be Rick Van Winkle.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he's
Little
actually-
Rip Van
it's
Winkle.
very.
Again, I don't know what that accent is, but it's good. He's trying. He's
Yeah,
trying.
yeah. I guess he's supposed to be reanimated.
Yeah, I don't know
He's
what
dead,
he's-
he's reanimated.
I
No,
always,
Rick
I
Van-
always thought of him
not
as
this guy.
Irish.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Well, yeah, with a name like Van
Oh,
Winkle.
Rippy Van Winkle.
Did you say Rip Van Winkle or Rip Taylor?
Oh, that's a great
Oh,
idea.
just
No, I
passed.
want
He just
you, Rick
passed
Van
away.
Winkle,
88 years old.
as Rip Taylor.
Right, that would be
How about
funny.
that?
Yeah.
He got a lot of good articles though. Rip
That's like
Taylor. I
Rip
thought-
Torn as Peter
Yeah,
Pan.
I thought that was pretty good. People remembered him. You know, he was funny.
Yeah.
A lot of
Funny
confetti.
guy.
So the haunted houses you do, and I know that growing up with you, I know that you have an affinity for mainly classic horror flicks. Like
Oh
the,
yeah, you're a
you know,
real
like the
aficionado.
Universal horror
Yeah,
era.
yeah,
you know,
it's
which I learned a lot about that today on a documentary I was watching that
Oh,
I never
really?
even knew.
Why?
About the crossover. It was like, think about it like this, like the Avengers, right? That's how the monsters were
Yeah.
for a period of time
Oh, yeah,
through
yeah, yeah.
Universal. So the Wolfman would always cross over.
Yeah,
with
the
Dracula
Wolfman
would
was.
always
I love
cross over with
Wolfman,
Who's-
Dracula, the Mummy.
Who's the
That's right.
merman? Who's the fish guy?
Oh yeah, but that was towards the end of the
Blue
run.
Lagoon.
Yeah,
Another
Blue
Blue
Lagoon.
Lagoon. Black Lagoon.
The merman.
Just the
That's what he
Black
should have
Lagoon.
been this year.
He was much later though.
The creature from the Big Blue Pinstripe
You know what I love?
Saloon.
You know what I love? And you're gonna love this. I show my kids Abbott and Costello meet Wolfman, Dracula, Bela Lugosi, unbelievable movie. They love
Yeah.
it. But I love in those old horror movies, the Wolfman would be a regular guy in a suit, like you're wearing
Right,
now,
just
right?
like this.
In a
Yeah.
great suit, and then he turns into the Wolfman. The entire room is destroyed,
Right.
Everything's cut up. You know, the shades on the lamps are torn like by nails. But he's still in that beautiful suit. But he's just the Wolfman.
Yeah.
He's got a handkerchief. He's smoking a
he
cigarette.
still has
I'm like,
style.
how bad could the Wolfman transmission be if he's having a martini? I'll be that Wolfman.
Yeah, well.
I don't have to shave for one day.
That's a good point.
So what classic horror movie are your favorite?
You know, I think I like Frankenstein the best.
Oh,
Frankenstein
really?
or Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh,
they're both
wow.
great movies.
Circa
1931.
Wow,
was
31.
Frankenstein.
Mike, remember that?
Dracula
31.
was the same time. Phantom of the Opera is a really good one too, though.
I've
You know
never
it's
seen it.
silent. Oh,
I've
dude,
never
you gotta
seen
see
it.
that.
No, I've never
I
seen
have
it.
seen that one. That is very cool.
You
It
said
is
it's silent?
really good. Yeah, it's silent.
Yeah, the silent movies, you know, I want to like them because I know it's very good and cool to do that. But I can't like them. I lose them. You know, I'm like, you know what I mean? I just can't. I can't. And a lot of those silent actors never made it to, you know, when you heard their voices, right? They never made it to talking pictures. These giant stars.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
Bigger
maybe
than
they
we
had
can
no
imagine
voice.
now. Right, but they had weird
Well, look
voices.
at like
or,
Lon Chaney, right? He
Yeah,
made
right.
the jump because he was still doing that same
Right,
kind of
right.
stuff, right? So he didn't have to have the best
and who's your
voice.
favorite Dracula? Classic.
Oh, boy.
To me, it's
that's
always
tough.
Bela Lugosi
That's
because I
tough.
dress like him every
I mean,
day.
I do love
Sean
Bela.
Connery is mine.
I think
George
I have
Hamilton?
to go. No, I think I have to go. Christopher Lee.
Wow,
Christopher
he's scary.
He
was even scary in that last the Star Wars he was in, even though he was older.
Yes.
He was scary, and
He's
he's always
always
scary.
scary.
The
He's
man
always
with the
got all
golden
that
gun, he
stuff.
was scaring
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
You know,
he's
he's a
scary.
scary guy.
Listen,
and the other guy's probably very nice, but he looks so scary.
Yeah.
Every role, he's a crazy person, right?
It's true.
Christopher Lee. I thought you were gonna say you don't say Bela Lugosi.
I love Bela Lugosi.
I can't
but,
believe
you
it.
know, it's something about his stuff.
Really?
Yeah, because it's
Too over the
plus,
top?
It's also very well. You know, Bela Lugosi. He only had one bit that he did.
Right, but
I mean,
stick
that
to
was
it.
it. That was it. And I lose points with Bela Lugosi because later he became Igor.
Right.
And
Oh,
then
yeah,
I'm
he had to
like,
make a living. You know, these guys got to make a living. He had a mansion to pay.
I
Wipes
know.
away any
Right. He had
seriousness
a
you could
bad. He had a
take.
bad end.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Those
couldn't take
guys
it
had
seriously
bad
anymore.
ends.
You couldn't go back
Yeah.
now and watch him as Dracula
Right.
and not think of.
Well, he needed to
Igor.
work.
Right.
Right.
I know. I get it.
What
You know what I
about-
think is amazing about those old movies? I'm sorry to interrupt
No,
you,
no.
but
No,
what's
no.
amazing about those is you can still watch them and you can still kind of get a little bit on edge.
Yeah, because
and think
it was
about
all,
that, right?
Well, that was the thing, right? Those older movies, they were all morality plays, right? There was a
Yeah.
lot more going on in there.
Yeah, it
than
wasn't
a
just
slasher
gore
flicks or
and
something like that, right?
It was reserved, but I showed the kids the other night The Birds. We all watched
Okay.
it together, the classic Birds, and
Oh,
it was
yeah,
scary.
yeah, yeah.
And
It
then
is.
when they
It's a
went to
scary
sleep,
movie.
I dressed up like a bird and I scared them in their rooms.
But part of that is scary is that you know that these giant cardboard
I
birds are really smashing her in the face.
Well, I
You're like,
read
oh my
it's
god, I
true.
feel
Yeah.
so bad.
She was
She's in the
smashing
phone booth
them
and they're
afterwards.
pelting her. It's like,
Well-
like, oh my god, this is scary because it's actually
You know,
happening.
that's true, right? Alfred Hitchcock, they did that whole documentary, that
Yeah.
movie about him. He did that. He
Yeah.
said, listen, you're going to be in a booth, and he never told the actors what was going to come.
Yeah.
He threw real birds, he threw rocks. I mean, they were really scared.
Yeah.
The same thing in that last scene.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was going to walk off the movie.
He was,
she was
a
getting
weird
terrorized.
dude.
Yeah,
man.
very
He was a
weird dude.
very
He
weird
terrorized
dude.
his stars.
He would be in jail today.
Right.
Yeah.
He really did. He wanted them to be so real, which I'm not crazy about.
No, but there was
I mean,
there's
it's
this
good,
great
but-
story about how weird he was, though, because he had these parties at his house, right? And he'd invite these people over. One day, he invites all these actors over, all,
Right,
you know,
sure,
directors and all
probably
this, all
the
these
biggest
people,
of
right?
the time.
Yeah, exactly. And they show up. They show up there that day, and he's not there. The butler says to him, where the servants say, you know, Alfred can't be here tonight, so he's asked you to go ahead and eat dinner anyway. Well, he had painted the entire room blue. Right, the entire everything in
Yeah,
the room
I'm
was
telling you.
completely blue in the dining room. Everything was completely blue, including all the food that was not supposed to be blue. And none of the people could eat anything because blue is not a color that
Well, he just
naturally
did that
happens.
because
He's a weirdo.
He's an
And he was
eccentric. Yeah, he was a
actually
weird guy.
there, from what I understand, he was actually there behind a glass watching the whole thing
Who
happen.
I would have been
Thinks
so
of
pissed
that,
off
right?
if I would have taken a leak and I came back and my room was painted. I'm like, what is
Right.
that?
right,
What
exactly.
do you think you're doing?
Like he lived the life of a crazy
Yeah.
person in his movies, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at the things that he put together. You would have
They were
to
all
know.
the classics, though. So
Yeah.
what about Psycho? We showed them Psycho too, which is scary. There's a good example of a movie that you know what's coming.
This is
We
turning
all
into
know
like a
it.
Jimmy Fallon, dancing through the
Right,
ages.
right. Psycho was scary though.
Jeez,
It was
where's
scary.
J Lo?
Yeah.
It was scary. But his movies were scarier in a different way
Right.
than the Universal films, right? And all those.
And he was good. Who played Norman Bates? What was his name? The actor.
I don't even know.
Merv Griffin?
Yeah, no.
No. Who was it? It was Merv
It
Griffin.
sounded
Remember, Merv
similar.
Griffin was good. He lost a lot of weight for that role.
Yeah, he did.
No, Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins.
James
yeah.
And he was good in that too. Remember he did the mother?
Of course he was.
Norman! I'm like, oh my god, it's scary, you know?
Well, we
my
always
mother
told the story
sounded like that.
About mom. Our mom was scared to death, and everybody that she knew
right.
at the time, they wouldn't shower for.
No, right. My mother
days
used to
and
say that
days and
too,
days
right?
and days.
That's true.
Anyway, we have a lot more of these conversations coming at you tonight.
Coming at you.
But we want to make sure that you know where you are following us on all the social media, so you can check out the YouTube video. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, which is Matt's favorite platform.
Oh, Stitcher's my
I tried
favorite.
it. I tried it.
Yeah, and right next to Anesthesia.
Matt hasn't even
That's a good
downloaded
site,
it.
too.
He just likes the
I
name.
don't even know what that means.
I'm back on SoundCloud.
Are we gonna recognize our camera person?
We are, and that's coming
Yeah,
up right now.
okay.
We got a buddy here with us tonight. My buddy Mike Modica's here. He's helping us out with the video.
Wow,
he
thank
actually
you, Mike.
lent me a video camera that I couldn't figure out, and I found one of mine. So he's hanging
know-
out drinking beers with us. And,
You know what's very
wants
funny
to chat.
about this? You can't, obviously you can't see this if you're listening, but if you're watching, I hope, Mike, because of his wig and hat for Halloween, has the headphones hunched over his shoulders, so he has to keep his shoulders up. You look like the hunchback, you're talking and your shoulders are like
I am dying
Yeah,
to take this
that's
wig off, man. I am
Wow.
absolutely dying
Now
to
you look
take
like
it
the
off.
hunchback of Notre Dame.
Anyway, check us out on Facebook at /Mundy and Santarpia or Everyday Nonsense Podcast. Check us out on Twitter. We are at Everyday Nonsense. That's EVRY Day Nonsense. No second E. On Instagram, we're at Everyday Nonsense Podcast. To shoot us an email at everydaynonsensepod@gmail.com. Please like us, follow us, share, review us, rate us, and subscribe to us. That's how you can really help us out and get bigger guests on. Not that Jim isn't.
Oh,
bees
wow.
knees.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You got all dressed
Not
up.
that Jim isn't
You got
the
a
bee's
pocket
knees.
watch.
Wow.
But I'm going
Wow.
into debt to have him here tonight, you
Wow.
know?
Well, he's your brother. Brothers can
telling
get
you.
away with murder.
We're really
Halloween.
after his wife.
Right, that's
Yeah.
right. We're all
This is just a stepping stone. Let's talk about the Snuggies
We
again.
all want
Go
Snuggies.
get her in here.
Anyway, we're going to come right back to you with some Halloween nonsense.
All right. That was good. All right.
Mike, you ready?
Ready.
All right, buddy. All right, fellas, it's time for those ever popular, ever spooky, ever terrifying,
I'm trying to put my
ever
cape back.
Transylvanian
Oh.
nonsensicals.
Wow, very scary.
The foundation of our haunted castle.
And for those of you who are watching and you can't, listening, Mike has taken off his wig.
I'm done.
He's done. You still have
He's
a very
just Mike
big
now.
red beard, but that's yours, I understand.
I'm done. You know, I'm not surprised. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised that the Halloween thing frustrates me very
I
quickly.
can't believe
Yeah.
it. You were so into the costumes, and after the first segment,
I didn't do
you
it
take
right.
everything off, and he's been
Yeah.
on me with this costume like an FBI agent. You know what I mean? Really, like an
I know
FBI
for
agent.
weeks we've been talking about
Yeah,
what we're gonna wear.
I know.
What are
And
we
the
gonna wear? What are
minute
we
he
gonna
gets a
wear?
break, everything comes off.
Listen.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here like Grandpa Munster. I got a cape on. I got leather gloves.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to say something different. Well,
I got
this is
a
no
medallion.
different than our 4th of July
Yeah,
episode.
weigh
This
me
is
down.
no different than any of those.
Wow, look at this.
Anyway, maybe I'll put
I
it
have a
back on,
vest.
but it's hot. I can't wear the headphones.
You
It's
should
just
put it
too
back
much.
on. I like
It's
when
too
you
much.
hunched over.
Next year, I'm going to go as you. You'll go as me. Anyway,
Hey, before we start, can I just have a little announcement to make?
Oh,
Because
very
I've been
nice.
listening to the podcast, as you can imagine.
Have you really been listening, Jim?
Yeah, every time. As a matter of fact, I
You're
listened to
the
the
one?
last one just before I got here.
I like it.
Just before I got here.
I like it.
And so a few episodes ago, you were talking. It was one of the news stories about that poor woman, right, who took the.
the stainless steel
Oh,
straw in the
stainless
eye.
steel
Now,
straw in the
now,
eye.
What a
I
Halloween
actually-
story.
I actually use those all the time, but I have a little silicone
I
tip
don't
that goes
like
on the
them.
end. I do, but I use them all the time. But so for you guys, I brought you 2 silicone.
Oh, wow.
And these are wide mouth.
They are wide mouth, so you go quickly through these. So
Wow,
here you go, one for
this
you,
is serious.
one for you.
Thank you very
There go.
much.
You're
Listen,
welcome.
I'm going to do something that we've also made fun of on the show, and that
I
is
was
I am
hoping
going
you
to
might.
try it out in my beer, which,
Wow.
by the way,
Very nice. Thank you, Jim.
I'm drinking an Enter Night Pilsner,
Oh, very scary.
which is a Metallica beer. If you can see that, you get a good shot of that
Metallica
right
it
there.
has the same font as Metallica.
Yes, it has the
look at
Metallica
that.
right.
font.
They have to make a beer
Sans
too.
Metallica. So I'm going to go silicone straw
Nice.
Wow.
into my Enter
Very
Night
classy.
beer,
Wow,
and
very
I'm going to
nice.
see what all the rage is about.
How is it?
And
I'm not a fan.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
I like the straw.
Are straws really killing everything? Is that what the problem
It
is?
is. the
killed
problem.
it.
Is it really a
It
big
really
problem?
is, yeah.
I mean, if
Those poor turtles.
Is that no seriously? I'm
Yeah,
not. Is that's
seriously.
what's going? I mean, that's the big issue.
What, they're
That's
jealous
what
they
they
can't use straws?
Hey!
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a bunch of
Thank you,
nonsense
Jim. That's
for you
right. You're an
tonight.
You're very
elegant guy.
welcome. Well, and I'm gonna have my beer in this because you can't. Gomez Addams doesn't.
Look at this.
Does
He's
not
got a
drink
martini
Addams,
glass.
that's right.
I'm telling you,
There
you
we
are
go.
an entertainer.
All right.
He
Thank
has
you.
successfully
Yeah,
poured
you
his
are
beer
really something
into
else.
a martini glass,
Right, very
sipping,
nice.
no pinky up.
Yeah, no
Oh,
picky.
well, I don't wanna go too
well.
far.
I don't think Gomez goes pinky
Yeah,
up.
no.
Anyway, our nonsensicals for tonight are all Halloween
That's the way to
themed
do it.
because, after all, Matt, it is our Halloween spook.
Yeah. Oh.
Spectacular.
I love it.
So the first one that I have occurred to me, this actually bothers me every single
Oh,
year.
here we go. You ready for this, Jim?
Do you-
Something
Yeah, I'm
bothers
ready.
Mike.
I'm ready. I know it's shocking.
Yeah.
Hey man, if things didn't bother me, we wouldn't have a show.
That's a really good point.
You would not be able to dress up like Grandpa Munster, sweat your ass off
I want to
in
drive
my
home
basement.
like this. Yeah.
You should. You should. The first one I have is, and maybe it wasn't huge when we were kids, but we did it, but nobody tricks and treats at
Ooh.
night anymore.
No, everything's very early now.
As soon as it gets dark,
Everyone's
it's,
gone. Yeah, right.
We gotta get in, we gotta
We're
get
gonna
in.
get
Yeah.
kidnapped.
Right, that used to
Right.
be the coolest thing, was
Yeah.
going around, you have your flashlights for a couple
Yeah, but
hours.
it's a school night half the time.
It's a school
Most of the
night.
time.
People are
Yeah, but-
scared. Everyone's scared. Everyone's gonna get kidnapped.
It was a school night for us too, but we still were.
But our
at it.
parents-
Well, think about it. Night is 6:15.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're forgetting one thing. Our parents did not care about us. Let's be honest. They let us, right, Jim? Mike, come on.
It was a different time.
Everybody, we all know. They didn't care. We could be out till midnight. Get home and no cell phone,
Right.
shaving cream, whatever we wanted
That's
to
right.
do.
Oh, those were
My
so
kids
fun.
go
Oh,
2
yeah.
feet in front of the house. Oh my God, there's a car. It's so much different now.
It is
And
different.
we're all parents of kids around the, in the same age group.
Yeah.
It's our fault.
Dude, I
Mainly
remember.
Jim's fault. to be
Mostly
honest
my
with you.
fault.
Yeah.
Halloween was so much fun causing havoc, man, as a young teenager, as a young buck.
Yeah, that was fun.
They would say, man, I remember this one time we were out and shaving creaming was the biggest thing, right?
Uh-oh.
You were shaving creaming everything.
Yeah, you had to find people to buy shaving cream
Well,
for
you couldn't get it in a lot of
Yeah.
places, remember?
Yeah, because I'm not
right.
selling you kids shaving cream.
right.
Well, it would be sold out.
Yeah,
right?
Barbasol.
And
August, that was it.
it would it would be
Barbasol.
banned. Right, right, yeah.
Yeah, I got 10 Barbasols I stole from my dad's cabinet. That was the big.
Yeah,
find.
yeah, and you put the straw
Yeah.
in it to propel it that much
Right.
further. You know, I think I might have given a kid a concussion because we would throw them at each other when
Oh
it
my
was
God!
wasted.
Well, you're crazy.
So when it was done,
That's crazy
if you
talk.
we would try to duck out of the way. Mike over there, I'm sure you did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Mike has thrown a shaving cream
Oh,
can or
you've
two.
thrown a couple of shaving cream cans in your day.
I hate it
For
when
sure.
they made the gel ones.
Oh yeah, right. That's no fun. Yeah, that just makes people mad.
Yeah, maybe that's why they went to jail to ruin Halloween.
Yeah, that makes people mad and smell terrific. It's like I'm gonna get you really pissed off, and you're gonna smell great all day.
Hey Edge, I think we're going to decline your sponsorship
Right.
offer. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
right.
But you have successfully ruined Halloween
But
for everyone.
Barbasol, we will take if they're still in business. I think they're still in business.
Sure they are.
Right, they are. People still use the shave. I don't shave. I use electric.
Really?
A hedge trimmer. I use.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I have a
Choices.
weed whacker. No, I've never shaved with a razor blade. And the one time I did, Mike, do you remember this? It was not that long ago. I said, you know what?
I do
I'm
remember
sick
this.
of shaving with an electric razor.
Yeah.
It takes a long
Takes a
time.
long
I'm very
time.
hairy. I have to shave constantly every day. It's annoying.
Right.
However, I bought the best razor. Remember,
course you
Mike?
did.
I spent
Yes,
a lot of
I
money.
do.
I bought the best shaving cream. My wife got me creams. All this great stuff. It was
course.
unbelievable. I went to go shave. I looked like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was bleeding.
It's
I
true.
couldn't go to work. I had toilet paper. I was shaking.
Yeah.
I was cutting myself. I'm like, how do people do this? I'm not used to it.
gotta
I've
learn
never
early.
ever
You gotta
shaved with a
train
razor.
your face.
Yeah, I can't do what I have to do. So I never did it again. I gave it all away to my
Wow.
brother.
Wow.
Yeah, I
you
give my
go
brother
electric or you go?
I don't have an electric razor at all.
Nah.
No,
Wow.
I can't do it.
You're right. Yeah, but
I used to
you're
get
not
that
very
rash
hairy.
on that. I used to get rash.
Yeah,
on
you
that.
get it's bad.
Yeah, I
It's
don't like
bad.
it at
Yeah,
all. I don't like it
it's
at all.
it's not.
So,
But I don't know how to do it.
I
with a
usually
regular.
use those disposable ones, to be honest.
Yeah, but how do you get in between where your chin is? You know what I mean? Like there's a dimple. I find I was cutting my chin looked like someone stuck a machete in my face.
I don't know, you just gotta
It was
get used to
terrible.
it.
I don't know. I can't.
I
do-
can't,
Mike.
those other ones, those
shave
electric
mine.
ones, they don't seem to get it.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't have an electric, but I used to shave my head with it, and it still was.
Yeah, but you have a beard.
Yeah, but I'd shave the top instead.
Right.
That's
I could
all.
never do that.
No,
That's
you could
hard.
never do that. That's
No,
like a horror movie. For
Yeah,
you.
that's terrible.
Forget
I
about
couldn't
it.
either.
Yeah, we've talked to Straight Razor Shave, Dave.
Yeah.
Quite a bit about that.
And forget about the barbers with
Oh,
those
yeah.
razors. They'll kill
That
you.
I can't do. I
I've
know Mike
done
likes
it.
I did it a
I
few
can't get behind
times,
it.
and let me tell you something. I'm thinking to myself, this barber, who I really don't know,
Right.
who's from Russia, I have no
Right.
clue where he's
No,
from. Nice guy, but no
Nice guy,
clue.
right.
He could hate, he could kill you. He could, in a second, end my life right now.
Well, you see,
And I'm
That's
giving
true,
him
that's
$2 tip.
he could.
Yeah,
true.
I'm trusting that
We've
guy
all
with a
seen
razor
Sweeney
so
Todd.
sharp.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
We've seen way
that
too much
razor is
Sweeney
so
Todd.
sharp it could split a piece of paper, and we're
Right.
trusting these barbers to shave us.
Right.
But they do a great job.
And it feels
They really
good,
do.
man.
It feels good. Yeah,
Hot
very
towel.
close.
There's not. See,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
that I can do.
I don't love the whole process, and I've broken out after too, because sometimes you get a guy or whatever,
It goes
like
too close.
you know, you don't know what's under there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But it is like it's the daring of it.
No, remember we did it the day before you got married?
Yeah, that almost wasn't good.
Right, yeah, you
wasn't
almost
good for
ruined the
me.
wedding, right?
That's a little,
Because you all
whole
broke out.
time, all scratching and everything.
Right, that's true.
Well, not only that, but they gave me a style of goatee that I don't ever get.
For
you
your
know?
wedding, no doubt.
Right,
Yeah.
fully lined,
Right.
like super tight. You know.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to shave my head at the time, so you know what little hair was still
We had
there.
some conditions.
Anyway,
That was a spooky barber story.
and that's I guess why no one tricks or treats at night anymore.
I don't know, but at
Is
least
that
not
why
by
we got
us.
Barbers?
See, our kids get a kick out of it, and there are years. No, sometimes they're just tired, right? But a lot of the years, like my son has a friend that lives very close, and every year they offer if we're gonna go out for like half an hour, 40 minutes at night because it's a cool thing. Like if you watch Charlie Brown, they don't go right after school.
Right, they go in.
They gotta party first, and then they go out, right?
And then they go to another party.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown knows what it is. Charlie Brown is like a college town.
Yeah, right. Charlie Brown's at
Yeah, it's
midnight.
They go, they pregame.
And where were the parents? Wah, wah, wah,
Yeah,
wah,
nobody's
wah,
around.
No one's around.
They
no
go,
one's
they get
there.
a ton of candy,
The
and then
Great
they go and
Pumpkin
they
was
party
there.
all night long.
Right.
That's true.
Well, you know what also happens? I mean, I don't know if it happens to your kids. They run from house to house, so it's like
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh.
even keep up with them.
No,
I'm like, oh my
Where
God,
I live, the
Grandpa
houses
Munsters
are
out of
very
breath.
close.
Yeah.
And
Right,
where
us
I live,
too,
the people, the area we go to, the people actually take off on Halloween.
Oh, that's
like, and they
nice.
all sit there waiting for the kids. So my
Oh,
kid
that's
goes out for
very
an
nice.
hour, and he's got like 5 bags.
Yeah, that's very nice.
No, here
Yeah.
you don't go out before 4 o'clock.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah,
going
no,
to
no,
the door.
4 o'clock
Yeah.
is the time.
That's it. Like
Yeah,
you know,
Plus it's a
and if
weekend.
Jeopardy
It's
is
a
on,
weekend,
no
go
one's
out
coming to
earlier.
the door.
right. So the other thing about trick or treating that I have is no one tricks anymore either.
Well, what do you mean trick?
It's all treats. Like the saying is trick.
Yeah, but I never was
Or
a trick.
treat.
Like,
Did anybody actually do the trick?
Yeah, it was like scaring back in the day. You know, the trick would be like, or some people would do a card trick. I think there was a person that
I never-
lived on
I
the
never
other
did
side.
heard that.
I think there was a
Card trick?
person on the other side of
What are
Wanto
you,
that was like a
Penn Teller?
magician. And he'd walk up
Wow.
to the door, he'd say trick or treat, and he's like, voila!
well, that was a
Trick or
crazy
treat.
thought.
He was,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
a
it's a
little
little
cuckoo.
cuckoo.
I never heard of that.
Right, but or a prank. It used to be a prank.
Well, I
like-
remember
Well, it used to be
eggs
the-
and stuff, but that if someone threw eggs at my house, I'd be like, oh.
But it was
what a
supposed to be
pain
that
in the
if you refused candy, then
Right,
you
then
would
you
get
give a
tricked.
trick.
Then
Right,
the
trick or
The
treat.
trick-or-treaters would trick you.
Like, you're going to give me
No.
a trick?
Yeah, that's the way it
Or a
was.
treat.
That was the whole point.
Right, you're gonna give me either a trick or a treat. Which is it?
No,
No,
you're gonna see.
no.
Are you gonna saw a lady in half, or are you gonna give me two
I
twists?
wish
You bring
that's
to
what it
the
was.
lions and you make them disappear.
would
No,
be
it's
amazing.
you're asking the people, you're knocking on the door and saying it's a trick or
Right,
treat.
I'm going to
No,
give
no,
you a
no,
trick,
no.
or you give me a treat.
No.
That's the way it is.
Listen, I would love it.
It should be treat or trick then.
It should be. I
Well,
always
I
thought
mean,
that.
now
It
that's
should be. You
semantics.
give me a treat. Anyway, that doesn't change the fact that I went to a goddamn magician
Right.
every Halloween and everybody loved it because you got a
That
trick.
was amazing.
I
wish
find
had
it
known
very
where that
funny
place
that
was.
your brother, who's 4 years apart, who grew up in the same house your whole life,
I
has
had
no
no clue.
recollection
He must
of
have
this
moved
trick or
into
treat.
the,
Right.
the area.
This was on the other side of Watson.
Yeah,
Oh, there
the
you
rough
go.
side.
When I was a hockey player 4
Yeah,
years
right.
in a row, I just threw the jersey on and went over there.
So can I tell you, my wife puts out a sign. She puts out a
Oh,
sign.
really?
Yeah, it's different now because more kids get dressed up. For a while, kids weren't getting dressed up.
What does the sign
So the
say?
sign outside would say, "No candy if you don't have a costume."
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Although if
And
someone
then she
comes
would
to the
put, then she
door,
put a little parentheses at the bottom, unless you tell us a joke. If you tell us a joke, we'll
oh,
give you
or
some
in
candy.
Mike's case, a card trick.
Yeah,
That's
a
right.
card trick would do that.
Unless
That's
you
right.
guess this card.
I'm gonna make these two rings separate and
Ace
go
of
back
diamonds.
together.
Yeah, right. Look at this rope.
Yeah.
It's 2 ropes, it's 1 rope.
Where's my thumb?
Maybe you can tear up a $20 bill. That's one of my favorites.
So here's a fun thing. I don't know if we can qualify it as a nonsensical, but and I have a very specific feeling about this and a very specific take on
Uh-oh.
this, right? So there is a new warning actually came out of Pennsylvania, and it's happened a few years now, to watch out in your kids' trick-or-treat candy for THC laced gummies.
Really? But but
given
don't
out.
they say
Well, here's the thing.
every year?
Right. Every year
Yeah,
there's
It was
something.
when we were kids. It was razors.
Kind of stuff.
It was needles, right? It was
Right,
needles.
needles,
Everyone's gonna get
razors,
needles, yeah.
right. But here's my thing. So THC, for those of you that might not know, is the active ingredient in marijuana.
Oh, I thought it was taking care of
Right.
business.
And now you can get them in gummy form or chocolate form, what have you, right? So they're saying,
Oh, Cheech
watch
and
out
Chong?
that your kid isn't ingesting THC.
Yeah, well, that's not
Okay.
Well,
good.
here's what I have to say about that. Anybody that has THC gummies
It's not
is
giving
not
them
giving
out
them
to
away.
kids, yeah. Right.
They are
exactly.
not. They're too expensive. They're too hard to come by. You just don't do it.
They're having their own Halloween treat.
And
at
I'll
home.
tell you,
and they're not answering the door either for trick-or-treaters.
No, no. And without saying anything else, I will be vehemently checking my kids' trick-or-treat bags to make sure that they do not
There's
have
no
any of
THC
those
that you will
devil's
confiscate.
candy
Yeah.
in their bags.
So that's this generation needles.
Speaking of this generation,
Hey, they got easy. I'd rather get THC in my candy than a needle.
right?
I mean, we
Yeah,
had razors and needles.
You want to get higher, you want to die.
That's right.
A horrible,
Wow.
gruesome death.
Again, we get the short end of the stick.
Think about what would happen if you ate a
Life was
razor
a lot
blade.
tougher when we were around.
Yeah.
Kids.
If you ate a razor blade in the middle of a Snickers, think about that
Oh,
slow,
my God,
terrible death.
Yeah.
That is scary. That's horrible.
Yeah, just
Horrible.
cutting everything in half on its way down, right?
You think you'd get it before it went through your.
Yeah, hopefully you'd
Right?
see the razor.
By the time you crap it out, it's already done its
Oh,
damage.
no,
wouldn't
no.
think
You
so?
can't. Your whole body would be torn up, I would
I would
imagine.
imagine.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am a doctor. I will check my medical journal.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
And you look like you came right from work.
Right, I do. Grandpa Munster was like a doctor.
Dr.
Remember,
Death.
Grandpa Munster had a laboratory, if you remember the
Oh, I
show.
do remember
Oh,
that.
sure.
It was
He
like
was
a
in his
PhD,
laboratory
right?
a lot. In fact, this cape has pockets in it, and I'm thinking, what are these pockets? But they're for little vials. Because remember his cape had vials, so now I know.
Yeah, they're for putting vials of your sweat
Yeah, I
in
don't
it.
know why I'm sweating like a you-know-what
He's
here.
like, makeup!
Yeah, exactly. Where's our makeup person?
Speaking of ridiculous things that we do today, have you guys both heard about the petition to move Halloween to the last Saturday in October?
I agree with that.
I haven't heard about
No,
it.
no, no. Why
Yes,
you
yes,
gonna-
yeah, I agree with it.
Come on.
Change the
Look,
Constitution.
I have to say, I kind of agree with him.
I don't like it.
Let me
A
tell you why.
Wednesday,
Let
a
me tell you
Tuesday,
why.
it stinks.
But let me tell you, I don't want to actually move Halloween. I just say that local municipalities, they can decide, hey, we're going to
Ooh.
celebrate it on Saturday. We're going to do trick-or-treating on
Municipalities.
Saturdays, right? But you don't take away Halloween from the 31st, because it is the 31st. You can't change
No.
Halloween
That's
from
like
the 31st.
saying
Right,
you're going to
right,
have
right.
Christmas on the Saturday after the 25th, and that's when you'll open presents.
Yeah, it's
But
not the same
Christmas
thing.
will still come.
I
Because
do
people
like
have
the
off on
idea
Christmas.
of
People don't have off
right,
on
right. I
Halloween.
like the idea of having on a weekend because it stinks. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, all our
Now-
kids' Halloweens have
me
been
ask you.
during the week.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I will say though, there's always some sort of party or something like that that the kids can go to on the weekend before or
Right.
the weekend right after. So
That's true.
you know,
Why
That's
do we
true.
need to change everything? Why do we need to be and not only that, but do you still have Halloween candy left in your cupboard from last year, Matt? Because I sure do.
Yeah, we have
I
a
do.
lot.
Right.
We have
a lot.
So you want to double the time
My
making
kids eat
trick or
it
treat?
too. We still have a lot.
You really want now? Think about it from a dad's standpoint here for a second.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Let's
Dad-
take Halloween on a Wednesday versus Halloween on a
Oh,
Saturday.
it's a lot more work on a Saturday.
A lot.
Without a
Wow.
doubt.
Yeah,
right?
no question.
On a Wednesday, you know you have a 3-hour window.
Yeah, you know 9 o'clock
They
to go
get
to
out of
bed.
school,
Right.
you go and you take them around, you're ordering a pizza, you're throwing on Charlie Brown, if it's chili or fire, and you're going to bed. A Saturday, from 9:15 on, you're hearing,
It's like a
can we go
wedding.
now, can we go
Yeah.
now, can we go now, is it too early, is it too
Right.
early, is it too early? Nobody knows what time to go.
You
You
can stay
see-
up all hours of the night.
you see, my kid though, he wants to go out for a little while, but he really wants to give out the candy.
Oh,
so he
he's
doesn't have enough
adorable.
time to
How
do
old
that.
is he?
He's 7.
7.
This
wow.
is his most
Not
endearing.
mine. Mine are like, put the
Yeah,
bucket
yeah.
out, let's get out of here.
Yeah, no, he wants to get back and see the other kids in the costumes,
Right.
and he wants to give
That's
it out.
cool too.
So when he do it during the week, he can't really do it. What time that happens? No one's coming out because no one's coming out at nighttime.
Do you remember when Hurricane Sandy happened?
Oh.
And it was right before
Yeah,
Halloween.
right. When they postponed
Oh, yeah,
Halloween.
yeah, yeah.
And it was iffy. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know if they did or they
They
didn't.
did the
we heard
weekend.
that they
We
might.
did it that weekend.
Well, we went on Halloween.
yeah, but you
went
felt
around the
funny when
neighborhood.
asking for candy.
We
on
did, but at
houses
the
that
same
had
time,
no
we were
roof.
like, it was our neighborhood wasn't terribly affected.
Right.
Right, we had
Which
some
I'm
limbs
surprised,
down. It wasn't
because you're close
bad.
to the water.
You know, we didn't have power, but whatever. Like a lot of
It's like
people, we were
trick or
looking
treat.
at
I
it.
know you have no roof, but do you have a Snickers bar?
Right.
Yeah,
They
a
They
little-
didn't blow away, did they?
Little
If
much,
they didn't
yeah.
blow away, you probably want to.
It was the first time we ever went trick or treating in a kayak.
Yeah, I know you have no
Awesome.
electricity for a week, but can I have a Kit Kat?
Yo, did you call for a rescue boat?
Right.
Oh, that's gonna be a Three Musketeers first. But it was a little bit awkward, but I'm glad we did it because it wasn't officially postponed, and everybody was like, the next day you'd see a couple of kids in costume walking around the
Yeah, that's
neighborhood.
weird. Right,
2
right.
days later, now this
Yeah.
kid's walking around. It's like a week-long trick. When I got around to it, I'm gonna trick or treat.
Well, I think
by that
everyone-
time I'm giving them Vienna fingers.
Right. You're like stale bread. Here's a piece of Wonder Bread, now scram. You know, I think we were so stunned with Sandy because I don't think anyone realized, even though they said storm of the century and everything. I love talking with this cape, by the way. Storm of the
It's the
century
gloves.
and all this stuff. We were shocked how serious it was. Right? Because everyone lost power. I mean, on Long Island, where we're from, in, greater New York area, we never had something like that in our lifetime.
No, I got
that we
walloped.
remember.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
And that's Jim's fault too, by the way.
It is. It's all
Jim Mundy.
I got it. Sorry.
So, look,
I can handle it.
let me ask you, Jim. In Queens, where you live, is booing a thing amongst the kids?
I have no idea what that is.
What do you mean booing? Like at a game? Boo?
No. You don't do it either in Hicksville?
We don't do much.
So the kids' friends come around, and before the weeks leading up to Halloween, they pack up a bag of a couple of candies or whatever,
Right.
and there's a note that said, "You've been booed." And what you do is you sneak up to the stoop, you knock on the door, and you leave the bag of goodies,
I never.
and you run away, and everybody's like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, who booed me? Who booed me? Who booed me?" You haven't heard of this?
Mm-mm.
You will.
No,
You will.
I haven't.
I
Anyway,
got very few kids in my neighborhood. So
Yeah.
well, yeah,
On Jim's
That's true.
stoop, they leave depends.
that's right.
yeah, but it's
Don't
like,
boo me too much.
but it's a cool idea. Whatever, it is what it is. You know, like.
It's fun.
You're
That's
not going
fun.
to change it.
Yeah.
I get that, but why are you leaving candy before Halloween?
Before Halloween.
Right.
Like, you know what? Be a
You
little
wait till
more
after
creative.
Halloween and give
Yeah,
away the
give
stuff
it
you don't
away,
want.
right.
Right.
Exactly.
You've been turkey.
That's
Right,
right.
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 Yeah.
At Thanksgiving, you've been.
How do you write that though? That's
Well,
No,
that was
you
good,
can't
by
say
the
it,
way.
you can't do
You
it.
have a very good turkey.
And that was a Scottish turkey.
Wow, that was.
wow.
That's good. That's
Yeah, you
good.
like
Wow,
it?
look
That was
at
a big
that.
turkey right
Well,
there.
wait till our Thanksgiving extravaganza.
Oh, yeah, we're all gonna dress up like
Many
the
turkeys.
pilgrims.
The last nonsensical that we have for you tonight, and that's a good idea. I'll be
Pilgrims.
John Smith.
I want to be. I want to be the Indian.
You be-
Run like bear. In my town, corn is called maize. My
This whole
fair
spotlight
head
we got
friend.
right here, yeah.
The last.
Hair like fire.
Can I talk?
Yes.
All right. The last one that I have is a nonsensical, and this actually is one that we've been trying to talk about for a while, Matt. Because my wife deals with these all the time.
Yes.
You deal with them all the
every
time.
minute.
I'm not sure how much you deal
And I
Oh,
with
deal
I'm
with
sure
them a lot,
Jim
deals
because
with
in my
them a
real
lot.
life I have to deal with
Yeah,
this
in your
for
real
Right.
business,
Yeah.
you have to have calls like that.
Right.
Especially in your business.
Right, and I was on a bunch of them when I was in the food service business too. We're talking about conference calls.
Oh, the famous conference call.
Right, but what we thought would be funny is we're going to try to convey a conference call to you by an improvised skit.
And this will probably be edited out of the broadcast.
And this will probably
Yeah.
never come. This
Right,
will be
yeah.
one of those rare finds
Right, this will be a gem.
after we're so huge and successful
Yeah.
that people are going to come across this cut.
It's like the
and say-
Lost Honeymooners episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So we're gonna give it a go. Matt is going to set up our conference call. The premise is we all work for Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween.
Don't know what Spirit Halloween is? It's these stores that pop up this time of year in other abandoned stores, like stores that are closed down. And they're seasonal. They're there for a month. They sell a whole bunch of Halloween crap, and they're out. So this is a conference call deciding what locations that we could have for this year's Spirit Halloween stores run by Grandpa Elvis.
Right, Grandpa. Bloated Elvis, I prefer.
Loaded Elvis. That's a good one. Dead Elvis.
Oh.
Matt name is Dead
Why do you have to
Elvis.
remind me all the time? Me, dog, when did that happen?
There's young Elvis, fat Elvis, and dead Elvis.
Right, right.
And Matt's the
Very
dead
close,
one.
right?
All right, Matt.
All right,
got?
here we go. You want to start our conference call?
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our conference call. My name is Matt Santarpia. I'm the Director of Brand Strategy and Merchandising for Spirit Halloween. It's great to have everyone here today on the conference call. I'm going to start off by doing a little attendance. Do we have Jim Mundy here?
Yeah, I'm here, Ray. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure if you heard me.
You're on, Jim.
So you can you hear me?
Yeah,
or
you
can't
have
hear
to
me?
you have to log on to the microphone on your screen and click it.
Oh, I was on my phone. Should I
Right,
go
we
on
can
the,
hear you.
Go on the computer
Right,
instead?
right. Go on the well. Stay on the phone.
All right, I'm gonna
but
get off
click
the
on
computer for a second and come back to the phone.
Oh, okay, good,
All
good.
right.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, can
well, he can't hear us, but
I'm on-
some technical
I'm on
difficulties.
the
But
phone over here. Can you hear me over here?
well, no, I can't. We
I
can
gotta
hear you.
find a
Can
better.
you hear us?
No,
Or
I think I have to find a better,
yeah,
better signal.
you have that microphone. It looks like a little microphone.
I
It's
can
a
hear
new
me now?
system, so I apologize for any delays.
I can hear you. Oh, I got it.
You got me.
I
I'm
can
very
hear me
good.
too,
Welcome,
so I'm
Jim.
good.
I
All
appreciate
right.
it. Thank
All
you.
right.
Wow, look at that. We appreciate that, Jim. Welcome to our conference call. This is important, as you know, because Halloween is right around the corner, and we're scouting now for potential sites for our Spirit Halloween
Matty,
store.
stay away from the stove.
If you're on the call,
If I tell you one more time, I'm going to kill you, Matty. Stay away from the stove.
I want to continue with attendance as we start this conference call, and I want to
I
remind
don't know what time this thing
everyone
is starting.
that if you
I don't know.
are
He said
on this
be on at 9
call,
o'clock. It's 9
to
o'clock. It's
please
5 after 9. I don't know where it
mute
is.
your phone if you're in a noisy
I
area.
don't know, sweetheart. You deal
We
with
can-
dinner. I don't know.
I can hear
sir,
you. Can you still hear me?
We can
I
hear you,
don't
and
know.
I can hear you too, Jim. I want to do another quick attendance roster if I could. Do we have a Mike Mundy on the phone? Do we have a Mike Mundy? Mike, I think you might still be on mute because I heard you before. Mike Mundy. All right, we're going to try to start this call regardless.
Hello?
Oh, we can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a new system, so again, I apologize, but let's start right away with some locations. We have a strategic plan at Spirit Halloween to make sure that we're providing our guests the finest Halloween costumes at the best.
Excuse me?
What?
Excuse me?
Yes.
What's the topic?
This is a Spirit Halloween. We're discussing.
Oh, I know it's Spirit Halloween. What are we talking
Well,
about?
we're talking where to put our new round of Spirit Halloween stores in the northeast part of the United States.
I have an idea.
Okay, Mike Mundy.
Put them in stores.
Put them in stores. That's a great one. That's a good one. I
I'm sorry.
appreciate that valuable feedback.
I'm sorry, did he say that you wanted to go to stores?
Yeah,
like stores?
Well,
like
we
stores
want to put them in
Massachusetts?
stores.
How many times am I going to tell you about that stove?
I want to remind everyone
How
on the call
many times are we going to go over this?
one more time to please mute your
I
phones.
told you I am just waiting.
If you're
Waiting
in-
for this thing to start. I have been sitting here waiting for this thing to start.
If you're
As
in-
soon as it starts, it'll be over. This windbag will shut up, and then we'll be done with. Hello?
Well, I don't know if
What
you
does
can
this
hear
stove
me,
have
but
to
we
do with
hear
this?
you. And I'm going to remind you to put your phone on mute.
These people don't have
Unless
phone on
I'm
mute.
asking a
Who doesn't have
question.
their phone on mute? This is ridiculous.
So,
this is the
let's
first time
start-
people had a conference call?
Let's start with our first question. And I apologize, this is new technology. It's a new system for us here at Spirit Halloween. So where do we think we can place these new stores strategically, gentlemen?
Oh, it's
What do
on,
we
it's
think?
on. I hear him. It's on now.
Yeah, we
So,
can hear you.
All right, I'll be done in a few. Stay away from that stove.
I'd like to. I have an idea, but I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can.
I
Oh, you
can't
can't
hear
hear.
a thing that's
Well,
going
you
on
have
the
to
other
press
side.
that microphone button
I
once
can't.
again.
I feel like I can hear myself, but I can't hear anybody
boy.
else.
Mr. Santor?
Yes.
I can't hear him.
Well, you can't hear him either.
No.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I heard him jabbering the whole
You
time.
know, I don't know
just
if we
can't
should
hear him.
call back in or if we should start
Technology
over.
never
I mean,
works.
I just want to find out. You know, while we have a limited amount of time and Halloween is right
I think it
around
must
the
be
corner,
the bandwidth or something like that.
where we
Right.
put these stores. I mean, any ideas?
Holy Jesus, that's going to be a third-degree burn!
All right, we're in trouble.
I can't believe it with the stove
I
again!
need you to mute your phone. If
Oh
you can.
my God! Would
We
this
are in the
guy
middle
ever
of the
shut
call.
I'm
up?
sorry, did you say that I should mute my phone?
Yeah, everyone should really mute their phones unless we ask a question.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can I go now?
Yeah.
Question.
we,
yeah.
we never got to the gist of our call, which is where should we put these stores?
Excuse me.
Yeah, the gist of our
Can you-
call.
Can you define gist?
Well, the main focus of our call
Oh,
is to put these stores in new locations that can drum up business.
Blockbuster Video.
Blockbuster Video.
Did you just say I should start drumming?
Yes, I will.
Because I have my set.
Well,
right
that's
here.
a figure of speech.
I,
So I don't think you should drum on the
I
call,
should
but
I should drum up.
All right, the ambulance is here. I gotta go. I gotta go.
well, I think that we got a lot done on this conference
All
call. So I want to thank both of you.
I don't. Can you? Look. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Because
Can you hear me?
well, the time is done for the call. I got something else. Are you sure?
Yeah, we're good. We're
Because
good.
I had to fix this for the next call. Too.
And right after this call, I'm going to go to HR and give my resignation.
Anyway, the conference calls, we've all been on them, right? We've all been on them, and there are a multitude more of other people that are very similar to this, and this is how they go. Matt, I'm sure that you deal with these people.
I do it
How you
constantly.
do
I
it?
do.
dude?
Today I was on a conference call at 4:30. I kid you not. In the background, a jackhammer. It's like someone has a laugh track. A baby crying, a dog barking, a guy screaming at a grill cook in the kitchen. Put the pans just like you were doing. Put the pans in the thing. We were screaming to mute your phone lines, blinkers, the car blinkers. People getting texts, phones going off, and this is like a senior meeting. It's hysterical.
Right.
Anytime you have more than two people, it's bedlam.
Anyway, next time you're in a situation where you're on a conference call or you're on a Skype call, now you can think of us, and it'll pass the time a little bit quicker. Anyway, those, Matt, Jim, those are our Halloween nonsensicals
Very scary.
for today. All right, this has been quite quite an awesome spooktacular, but is it
I
over?
took my cape off.
It is not over.
It's
Yeah.
getting too hot.
I have gone back to full costume.
Yeah, and I have taken my cape and gloves off.
As long as it'll stay on, so as long as I don't sweat it off.
You look like a crazy Gallagher, the comedian. Remember Sledge-O-Matic? Yeah, you really.
I should smash jack-o'-lanterns.
You know what's funny about Gallagher? I saw Gallagher years ago. Did you ever see him at Westbury?
No, I
And
never
he
saw
has,
him.
You know he has hair under his hat, like he has that bushy hair?
Yeah.
The funniest thing was he took the hat off and the hair was attached to it. He's totally bald. That was funny. I didn't know that. All those years, you think that's hair.
Wow.
It's not hair.
Not
it's
hair.
attached to the hat, like
Yeah.
you look.
Well, if you've ever seen him, man, he's a train wreck.
Yeah, he's a train wreck.
He is
yeah.
pumped up. He's
Yeah,
huge.
he's totally
He's got
crazy.
back
No,
knee.
you're thinking of Carrot Top.
Oh yeah, what did you say?
I'm thinking of the guy that smashes watermelon. I'm thinking of
Oh,
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
You could be a crazy
Well, it's the next generation
you could
of
be a
Gallagher,
crazy
really.
Carrot Top too. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
thing. Anyway, we've got a segment that we haven't done in a while, and it's on this date.
On this date.
We are going to use the date of October 31st for this
Wow.
segment.
Makes sense.
And here's some interesting facts that happened on this date. We'll go through them pretty quickly.
All right.
The first one, Matt, this appeals to you more than anyone else at
Oh,
this table.
what is it?
In 1864,
The year I was born.
Nevada became the 36th state to join the
Hey,
U.S.
there you go. My favorite. You said your favorite place to move other than this country would be England, and I said my country I'm moving to is Las Vegas.
I believe it.
Absolutely.
Your country.
Yeah. That's not a country?
It should be its own country.
Right, I thought
Pretty
it
much
was a country.
is.
They seceded, I think.
All right, here we go. In 1926, and this is interesting because remember we're talking about October 31st, which in our society is still Halloween,
Right,
goddammit.
right, yes, until they change it.
Until they change it to the more convenient for everybody time.
All those hippies.
In 1926, Harry Houdini died of gangrene
Ooh.
and peritonitis.
Well, I thought he died underwater.
He did, that's what you said.
You said.
Yeah.
You know, and we said that on here, but we also said we don't fact check.
Gangrene and
Anyway.
peritonitis.
It resulted from a ruptured appendix, which he suffered 12 days earlier
Wow.
when he was punched in the stomach by a student.
Underwater?
Now, during a lecture,
Not underwater?
Not underwater.
Who cares?
during a lecture, Harry Houdini had commented on the strength of his stomach muscles and their ability to withstand hard blows. So this student, I guess, was like,
killed
all
him,
right.
basically.
And he
He
killed
came
him.
into his dressing
Wow.
room basically and just pummeled
I
him
did not know that.
over and over
I
and over
did not-
again,
Wow.
and he didn't have time to get prepared. So
Wow, I had no clue. What? I thought he died in a safe underwater with chains around it.
And on Halloween, no less.
on
Wow,
Halloween. And
that's
then
terrible.
10 years later, his wife did a seance because he said that if he could come back,
He would.
he would. If he could communicate
Yeah.
with them, he would.
Wow.
So she kept a candle for 10 years lit, right, in his memory. And then on Halloween of that year, of 10 years later, she held a seance and said, "This is long enough to wait."
Really?
Yep.
And the candle blew out its own.
And like a candle in the wind.
And Elton John
And
showed up.
Did Elton John sing that song? Is that what his first rendition was for Houdini?
You have waited too
Right,
long,
yeah.
and Elton John, the ghost of the not yet born Elton John, has showed up.
Wow. So I guess he couldn't cross over, huh?
I guess he couldn't.
Wow.
communicate.
No, he could visit us.
Is he still considered the world's best magician?
No.
No.
I don't think he was ever really considered the best magician. He was an escape artist.
Yeah.
But he
Did
wasn't a
some
magician.
magic, but he wasn't really a magician.
He wasn't doing card
Not in
tricks.
Because the
Same way.
world's best magician, as we know, is David Copperfield.
I never got
Wrong?
to see him live, Houdini, so I can't speak
Yeah,
on it.
he's on your special show, remember? Mike opens up
Right.
with Houdini, I think.
Well, that's why I brought him
Right,
back.
yeah,
I
that's
do
great.
open up with Houdini.
I would say
Wow.
Doug Henning.
Doug Henning is my favorite. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
Matt's dressed a little like Doug
Yeah, I
Henning
know.
right now.
That's my next costume change.
All right, in 1952, the U.S. detonated the first hydrogen bomb.
Ooh, not good.
That's a big date, but funny on Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
On
And-
Halloween, what a trick that was.
Here's a funny one, and tell me what you think about this. In 2008, Distribution Video Audio Inc. shipped its final VHS tapes to stores.
Oh, that's interesting.
They were the last major U.S. supplier of pre-recorded VHS tapes.
Wow.
Now that's only
That was only 11 years
11
ago.
years
Wow,
ago.
that's interesting.
Wow.
Think about it, right?
Yeah, no, it's true.
People were still watching VHS
Yeah,
11 years
11
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that old generation now.
Blockbuster Video.
I
Right.
still have a whole drawer full of them.
We have a
VHS
lot. The
tapes.
kids.
I have a
kids
box
movies
and a VCR that
But we don't
still
have a
works.
VCR anymore. We just got rid of it.
They're not even cheap anymore.
No, now because no one's buying them.
Right, you can go. I went on Amazon actually to look. I'm like, oh, I'd like to
really?
get a new VCR because I'd like to just have one.
Right, just have one handy.
Right, like I still do, but it works on and off whenever we try it. It's not always working, but I did price them out, and they're like $150, $175.
There
Yeah,
was a
'cause
time when they were $5.
Well, they're not being made.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
You
you don't
know?
want to put it in the old one because you never know. It's going to break.
Right.
You know,
Well, the
and
tape
that's
itself
the problem.
is like peanut brittle.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yep. If you have a VCR,
Don't rewind.
hang on to it.
Yeah, it could be worth
kind,
money.
rewind. All right. Also, to finish out this on this date,
On this day.
some happy birthday.
Ooh.
People born on October 31st on Halloween include
The devil.
Dan Rather,
Oh, really?
Michael Landon,
Ooh, wow, one of my all-time favorites.
John Candy.
Wow. Oh, another one of my
Now
all-time
this is funny because this is a great list. Usually,
great list.
when
Those
you
are-
look
you
up
got
oh,
all
who's born
biggies.
today, and I do look it up,
Right.
it's not. It's like one or two big names.
Wow,
but
Michael Landon, John
Halloween.
Candy.
What's 9 months before Halloween?
January 31st.
Nothing
What's going on,
special.
Jack?
Just
Right,
cold
yeah.
blizzards.
Cold blizzards, yeah.
Peter Jackson.
I don't know who that is.
You know Peter
Well,
Jackson.
of course,
Oh,
Peter
from,
Jackson.
uh,
The
what?
director of the.
Oh,
Lord
right,
of
the
Rings.
director. I was never into Lord of the Rings. I was more into Lord of the Ring Dings.
Hey-o! Rob Schneider, and most
Oh, I
importantly,
forgot Rob Schneider
Schneider.
died. He was young.
no, he's not dead.
Oh, I thought he died.
These are birthdays.
Oh, look, these
These
were
are not
people who
dead
died on
days.
that date.
No.
Oh.
And Vanilla Ice
He died?
to top it off.
Oh,
He died on Halloween on his
Wow.
birthday.
Oh, that's a cool birthday.
Pretty
Wow.
amazing. Anyway, happy birthday to all of you that are alive on that
Ice,
list.
baby.
And we remember you if you are not any
Right.
longer with us. All right, our last segment for our
Halloween. Ooh, this is very scary. Should I put my cape back on for this?
Spectacular. Maybe for the end you
It's
could
too
do that.
hot.
That'd be good. It's like in your communion when you take off your blazer jacket
Right.
and have to put it back on at the end for pictures. So we have a special edition of Halloween this versus that for everyone tonight.
Look at that.
We're going to kick it right off, no gibberish, go right into it. And the first one that we have, since we have with us tonight Grandpa Munster,
Oh, that's right.
a.k.a. Dead Elvis, and we have Gomez Addams. We are going to go and we are going to dispute the Munsters versus the Addams Family.
Two great ones.
Yeah,
agreed.
so, Matt, why don't you start? If you're
I-
choosing one show, which one are
I
you going
love
with?
them both, but my heart is always with the Munsters. I think it's a great show.
Yeah, why?
You know, I'll tell you why. I was telling Mike
Make
this.
no bones about it.
The first, it's really Yvonne DiCarlo. Because as a kid, watching those reruns, she was the first woman I saw on TV that I really was, I don't want to say infatuated with, but really like, wow, this is like unbelievable. And till this day, I still think she's one of the most beautiful women. She really was. We
She
were
was a
kids,
beautiful woman.
But you really, wow, imagine she was with Mr. Munster.
Do you know she
Yeah.
wasn't the original?
Right, you
No.
said that.
No.
Right,
And
right, but I liked her.
The woman who was the original they got rid of because she was too similar to Morticia Addams.
Right.
And they were competing shows at the time.
Right.
You know?
Oh, look at that! But I love them. You know, I love the humor. But Addams Family was good too. But I was always more of a Munsters guy.
Yeah. See, I'm more of an Addams Family guy, and this is why, because I love the Munsters too, and I have to tell you what Munsters has going for it that Addams Family does not is Marilyn. Right? I mean, there's
right, yeah,
Marilyn is
funniest
there as kind of
aside,
the
yeah.
funniest side, but the thing with the Addams Family, I feel like, is that Addams Family, it's if you watch the show, everything happens inside. Like, they very rarely have outside influence.
No, it's
whereas
all in that house.
The Munsters is very much about how they're influenced by the outside.
Right, like
Right.
the exterminator or the milkman comes and everyone gets
Right,
freaked out.
exactly. And it seems like that happens a lot.
Yeah, well, every
Right.
episode.
Yeah.
Like every episode, that's what it's about. So for me, the Addams Family, it's just there's more to it. I feel like, and it has longer legs than the Munsters.
All right, I can see that.
See,
Which is on longer?
I don't even. Addams
They're both
Family.
on for 2 seasons.
Yeah, see,
And
that's another
they're
thing.
both
I
on
thought
for
the
the
Addams Family was
same
long.
2 seasons, 1964 to 1966.
These-
Well, then, do you
people-
know what kicked them off of TV, basically? Here's a good trivia question.
Oh, what was the
show
movie?
came along and made it, and it aired 2 nights a week?
It was Batman.
It was Batman.
Oh, really?
Who, by the way, Batgirl, she was my Yvonne
Oh,
DiCarlo.
Yeah.
No question.
Oh, we were
who's
we
your
were
Yvonne
getting the,
DiCarlo?
Yvonne Craig, so the other Yvonne.
Yeah, she was
we were
great.
getting the Halloween costumes, and they have those costumes now. One for Batgirl and one for Batman. The
Oh,
whole
wow.
series.
Yeah, the whole series is
Wow.
very popular. They have
Costumes.
costumes for everything now.
Yeah.
They really do.
I think it's really hard because I feel like Addams Family has turned into much more of a franchise,
Yes,
obviously,
it has.
than the Munsters
it
did.
has more. It does have more legs.
I mean, if you want to talk about staying power, you're talking
Yeah.
about the Addams
Yeah, no
Family.
question.
You know, they're in their third
And
different
they were there
movie.
before that, right? I mean, they
Yeah,
were
no, they were
created
around
just
longer.
for the show.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess
But,
I like the characters on the Munsters better. Like I liked, Herman Munster. I loved, you know, Grandpa Munster, obviously. I just love
There were
the
some
characters.
great characters, but I will say that Herman is like the original Homer Simpson,
Yeah, he's great.
right?
Yeah, kind of. I guess you're right.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because I feel like he's just kind of a dumb, bumbling
Right.
kind of guy. You know, I like the suaveness.
Remember when they brought the Munsters back in like the 80s?
Well, you know, they're bringing
Yeah,
the
remember
Munsters.
that?
You know
Yeah.
what? They're bringing the Munsters back.
Oh, I bet they
Seth
will,
Meyers is working on a new Munsters.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really
really?
good.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now he's dead, right? Fred Gwynn? Yeah, he
Yes,
died
Fred
I
tragically
think you
in
meant Seth Meyers.
'93. I
don't
want to
think
say.
so. Yeah, he died, I think, shortly after my cousin Vinny, actually.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, I
you're
think
right.
you're right.
Yeah.
I think I would to settle the tie. I think I'm gonna have to go Munsters, and here's why. Because I feel like at the time, even in their 2 years, the Munsters made much of more of a social statement. Right, that Marilyn, who you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
they treated her like an outcast. Everything
Right.
was, she must have it so
Right,
hard.
right. It
I
was-
can't believe it. Like,
Yeah,
she,
it's so funny,
she can't
right?
keep a boyfriend. Like, that was the
Oh,
running
how
joke.
she looks, right? And she looks
Right,
so,
right.
crazy.
Like, in
you
the
know.
pilot, her boyfriend comes up to meet Uncle Uncle Herman, right? And he runs the other way.
Right,
right.
And she's like, "What's wrong with me?" And they're like, "I don't know, sweetheart. It'll
Yeah,
be
maybe
fine."
someday
I
you'll
get
be
that.
okay, right?
And not only that, but you referred to the plumber or whatever, and every time there was a scene outside the house, it was, "Oh, you don't want to associate with those people."
Right, yeah,
And it was
right.
very much of a microcosm of the time.
Right.
Yeah,
Addams
yeah,
Family is
sure.
great, man. Addams Family's funny. Addams Family
It is
is,
very funny.
yeah, the
I don't
characters
see
I
as
think in
much
Addams Family are better, but
As
I
the Munsters.
I'm
I
gonna
see
have to
the
go
Munsters
Munsters.
late night on TV. I don't see Addams Family that much.
no,
No, I don't really don't. I have to look.
we're gonna go see the new movie this
Both
weekend.
of them were very counterculture.
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
a funny time, right? That those haunted shows would be very big.
Well, you know,
right?
I came back because at that time the people were saying, "Hey, what are we going to do? How can we bring those universal horror
Right, back
characters
into
back?"
the
Well, it was
Mainstream.
Monster Mania still. The movies were still
Right,
big, and
right.
it was, and
Right.
I remember.
Hammer was putting out those movies, right?
Yeah.
All those scarier, gorier movies with Christopher Lee and
Right,
Cushing
yeah,
and
well,
all
that
right?
was the time.
Right, and
Yeah.
the problem was they didn't have the budget to bring a weekly show that was like a horror show. So
Right.
they're like, well, let's make
Well, what can we
Frankenstein
do?
funny.
Right.
And it was
what they
supposed to be, Munsters was supposed to be a cartoon first. Did you know that? It was
Did not know
drawn as a cartoon, the pilot
looks
was
like
a
a
cartoon,
cartoon.
and then they decided
The
at the
characters
last
look like
minute to go
cartoon,
live
yeah.
action.
Wow.
And the kid who plays, what is it, Eddie, right? Is
Yeah.
Eddie the
Yeah,
voice?
Eddie Munster,
He
sure.
was replaced shortly
Yeah,
in
he
the
was.
beginning because the kid was like a terror.
Oh,
He was
really?
a terrible, like nobody liked him. He,
wow.
he played his part totally wrong. It was awful. He wasn't a nice kid. Nobody
It
wanted
was
to be
Fred
around
Gwynn. You know,
him.
Fred Gwynn was like, I can't work with this. Because I think, wasn't he a little much with the Munsters? Like, he didn't like the fame. Like, he kind of
Well,
drifted
he
off.
also had
Like,
some personal problems at
right.
the time.
You
and all
embrace
that.
it or you don't.
He's the only one that went on to still have a profitable career after that, though.
All of them really went. I didn't see much of
Yvonne
Yvonne
DiCarlo
DiCarlo.
did, but she did a lot of like bit parts.
yeah,
and
like
that
she
kind
was
of
on
thing.
Columbo once. We saw she was
Yeah.
very different.
Right, but remember they
Color.
started out on Car 54, Where Are You?
Right.
With Herman and
Right.
Grandpa Munster. That's how they got discovered.
Right,
They were
but
on that
some
show
people
together.
embrace these characters, like Adam West. Had a very short period of time where he hated Batman, but most of his life he would show up at every supermarket.
once he
opening.
realized that he
you know what I
couldn't
mean?
get
Yeah,
it
I
to
mean,
work,
you either
yeah,
embrace the
choice.
characters or you don't.
I'm saying, dude, if I'm 55 years old and I could be doing book signings for hundreds of bucks because I was
Yeah,
Eddie
I'll do it.
Munster,
I don't care.
sign me up.
I'm dressed like this in the basement. Oh my god!
All right, that was a good one. The next one I have is a quick one. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark,
Love Elvira.
Cassandra Peterson, redhead, by the way,
Yeah, right.
Yes.
In real life. Looks very
versus Elvira by the Oak Ridge Boys.
different. Well, I love them both for different reasons. Yeah.
It's so catchy. I think I probably have to go that way. Even though
Right.
I do love me some Elvira.
Yeah,
Versus the
Elvira's
Dark.
still out there on Halloween.
Is
I
she
saw
really
a
doing
commercial
Yes,
with her.
she is.
Wow.
She looks great, right?
Yeah.
She's still like my son and daughter were like, wow, who's that? She's got like a show on. She was
She's like
Home and
horror
Garden.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, right. She's this is a big time. She's still out there.
Yeah,
You know,
Big Times is right.
Yeah, that-
I just wanted to get her into our Halloween spooktacular.
Right,
I
right.
couldn't
She
think of
probably
another way to
would've
do it. There isn't anyone really comparable to her. that
But
you
I
could
like
take
the
her
Oak Ridge
into that.
Boys too, Elvira.
Yeah,
so that's
Svengoolie
a
is not
tough
the
one.
same thing.
All right,
Here's
here's a good one. The worst Halloween candy out of these two.
Oh, easy.
If you have a right in, then fine. Is it candy corn or is it circus peanuts?
Oh, easy. For me, it's definitely candy corn.
No!
Oh,
I
wow.
hate candy
So,
corn.
look, here's the thing. I only had candy corn once in my life, and I got so sick
Yeah, I get so
afterwards.
nauseous.
Really?
But
looking at it.
I still say that circus peanuts are the worst.
What is circus
Even though I got
peanuts?
sick.
See, you chose something and you don't
No,
even know.
but Circus Peanuts is like.
Do you know those gigantic looking
Oh,
peanuts
so awful.
that look like styrofoam?
Oh, yeah,
They
you have to
taste
break
like
them
styrofoam.
open.
They're huge. They're like this.
And what are they?
You know what? I've only
They're-
bitten
They're
one
child
once.
chokers.
Oh,
That's what
that,
they
yeah,
are.
right.
They're
They're child
chokers.
killers, basically.
They're gross.
They're disgusting.
They're gross. Bugs Bunny Halloween
Oh.
versus the Garfield Halloween special.
Oh, well,
I don't know how learned
you could
you
say
are.
Bugs Bunny, anyone, I'm going with Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Do you remember the Bugs Bunny Halloween
Yeah,
special?
very good. I don't remember the Garfield
I
one.
watched
Really?
it. I
Yeah.
watched it today to make
Oh,
sure.
did
I knew-
you?
Yes, I had to.
And what was
I had
it
to.
again?
Jim is 10 times more prepared for this
Wow,
podcast
he's
than we
very
are.
Here's the problem.
Jeez.
Here's the problem.
Wow.
I love everything Bugs Bunny. Everything.
Yeah, me
Looney
too.
Tunes.
I
I
love
love it. I love it. I love it. But I have to tell you that show, it's nearly unwatchable.
Really?
Yeah, it's nearly unwatchable
What are you
because
talking about?
Halloween, it's nearly
Yeah.
unwatchable.
Oh,
What's
really?
the
I'll
big
tell you
red
what.
monster's name?
Oh, it or whatever?
What
No,
is his
no,
name?
he's not in that though.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. I just
Absolutely
watched
is.
it. I just
Absolutely.
watched it. He's
Bugs
not
Bunny's
in it.
cutting his hair in it.
No, he's not.
No, he's cutting his hair
yes,
in the
he
other
is.
one.
No,
Yes, he is.
not in the
Because the
Halloween.
mad scientist sends him after
I
Bugs.
was not in Bugs Bunny's Halloween. I just watched it today.
That's right.
Right. And the building says mad scientist. Boo.
And I love all of the individual
That's
shorts.
I love the animation on that.
But
No,
when they-
maybe it's not in Halloween, but
Yeah.
it's a Halloween episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Halloween ones were great, but when they put that together, it's all like terrible animation in between, and the voices sound
What
terrible.
about when
Really?
Speedy Gonzalez
Awful.
becomes the witch? Is that what I'm talking? Is that the Halloween?
That's part of Halloween.
Right,
Yes.
where
I'm the witch.
she turns Speedy Gonzalez into herself so she
Yeah.
can go leave and hunt down
You
bugs
couldn't
or
do
whatever.
Bugs Bunny
That's right.
today. when
He's
they
like,
were-
oh, you want to get out of here? Okay.
And then he says
Well,
exactly. There goes.
There goes one eyebrow.
Oh, we lost an eyebrow again.
All right, I'm going to go with one.
But Garfield Halloween special.
I don't remember that.
It is equally terrible, but in a different way.
I
love the Garfield
I love
Halloween.
I
Garfield.
love it too, but it's
He was very
terrible. I
funny.
love it, but it's
They
really
become
terrible.
pirates, him and
Yeah.
Odie.
Now
There's no- it
Garfield
makes no
never
sense.
talked, but you only heard him, right? And
Hey,
he
you
saw
right,
him.
He never moved his mouth.
Yeah, right. Never
Yeah,
moved
oh,
his
yeah,
mouth, but he
yeah,
was so
yeah.
right.
Hey, you little lover, you be shoving the lasagna in your mouth.
Right. I
I'll
don't
take
remember
Garfield
that as
any
much
day.
as the Bugs Bunny one.
Yeah, I'll take that special.
I remember the
any day.
Garfield one pretty well. I gotta be honest. It stinks that it's not on. We're gonna have to YouTube it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure it's on there.
Yeah, I did not watch that one before today, but I know it well enough.
You know why? And this is. It starts like this. Boinky the Clown
Yes, Boinky.
is on television.
No, I don't think I saw it.
Is it Boinky?
Right? I think it's Boinky.
I think you mean
well,
Bozo.
It's close.
Is it
No,
Bozo?
No.
It's not Bozo.
No, for our purposes, it's
No,
Boinky.
it's Binky. It's Binky.
Binky,
It's
okay.
Binky the Clown.
He starts and he says
are important things to know.
he has an
You don't know.
exercise program.
Right.
And he's saying, you gotta exercise so you can get all that candy later, right? Get
I don't remember.
That's right.
That's right. They wake him
And
up
Garfield starts
with
doing
these
curls.
huge eyes.
Right. He's like, candy? It's awesome. And then he gets Odie involved. Right, Odie, right? Odie the dog.
Odie the dog.
Gets Odie involved, promises like one piece of candy to Odie.
Wow, I
And
have
then
to
they wound
watch
up
it.
being pirates, and John's giving
Wow.
them sacks.
Right.
Here's
and
two
they go on this
sacks.
crazy adventure where these ghost pirates on this other island and all
Yeah.
that.
Well, this old
Wow,
man is
I
in
have
the
to-
chair when they get in the house.
Yes.
Right?
The whole thing
I
makes
have
no
to- I
sense,
have
but
to
it's
watch it.
but
You gotta
is
watch it, show
classic.
your kids.
Yeah, I want to show the kids. Now you got
Yeah.
me intrigued.
Yeah.
All right, here's the last one that we have. Which is scarier? A graveyard at night or
Ooh, that wig you're wearing.
Matt's outfit?
Yeah.
Or Matt's podiatrist office? No. Or an abandoned prison?
Ooh.
Scarier. Graveyard at night, abandoned
I
prison.
think it depends if there's a moon out that night.
Yeah, are you inside a prison?
Yeah.
If you're inside the building, I would say prison. That's scary.
Yeah, no, you're on the highway like a half
No.
mile
Because,
away. Yes,
because,
you're in the
because
prison.
in a cemetery, you're in the cemetery, but you're still outside.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
I,
but
in
there's
prison,
gates,
you're
you can't
inside
get
the
out.
building.
You're in it for a night.
I don't know. That's a
I
tough
don't know.
one.
I would rather be in the cemetery. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
This
I'd
is a
rather be in the
cemetery with
cemetery.
mausoleums.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
rather be in a cemetery.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want abandoned
there,
prison.
there was
scares me.
there was a time in many years ago when people would go and have parties at cemeteries because it was the
Yeah.
it was the only place that was manicured.
Right, and quiet.
Yeah, quiet and all that kind of
Right.
thing.
That wasn't that long ago.
It really
That
wasn't.
was last week. Remember I said, meet me at the cemetery. We'll have
Did
a
anybody
drink.
show up?
No one showed
Yeah, no
up,
one
as usual.
Anyway, that is our Halloween this versus that.
This or that,
Alright.
baby.
Well, if that wasn't spooky,
That was
I
some
don't know what
episode.
spooky is.
Fantastic.
Our 20-year anniversary.
Our
Wow.
20
And I was here to
episode.
experience it.
That's
20
right.
episode or 20 year?
20th
Oh,
episode.
now he tells me.
Jesus. Well, we got a lot of people to thank. First of all, most importantly, we want to thank Jim for coming
Yeah.
No, thank you
Awesome,
guys.
awesome.
This
Thank
was
Jim
so much
Mundy.
fun. I hope I get back. Come back.
Now, your dad is Jim Mundy, so you a junior? How does that
So
work?
I'm actually James Martin Mundy the third, but that's only a technicality.
Right. You're the
Actually,
third. I didn't know that.
Actually, I'm
Okay.
the fifth.
Wow.
My great great grandfather thought he was a patriarch.
Wow, you really?
Yeah,
And you got no
monarch.
more? This is it?
I broke the tradition.
Wow,
Yeah.
another
We always
reason.
knew he was gonna. My son was gonna have
Another
both our
reason your
names.
dad
So
is
that,
mad at you. Yeah, we gotta get him on the
Lots of
show
reasons.
next.
That's right. We also. Oh, by the way, are there any socials that you'd like people to follow you on? Is there a Twitter? Is there?
No.
Okay, doesn't.
no, I like to be anonymous.
No, anonymous.
Send him a singing telegram.
Anonymous,
if you need him.
unanimous,
That's
anonymous. We also want to thank Mike Modica for filming for us tonight.
Yeah,
for
Mike,
our
thank you so
YouTube.
much.
Thanks, Mikey.
Wow, that was
Appreciate
very
it.
nice of you.
And as always, our maestro, Dave Abernathy, straight
Right,
razor
right.
shave Dave Abernathy. He would like you to follow him on Twitter at David Ab Music. That's ABB at David Ab Music. Give him a follow. He's a good tweeter. Check us out on YouTube. We will post the link on all of our socials for sure. We can't wait to get it out there. Once you hear this, you will hear the podcast before you are able to see it on YouTube. As a little thank you for listening to us this whole time.
Spooky.
And if it goes well, we'll be on there a lot more. We want to wish every saloonatic out there a very happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And you know what?
Halloween,
Take your
saloonatic.
kids trick-or-treating at night. For
Yeah,
a
go
few
at
minutes.
midnight.
Give them a half an hour at
Why not?
night.
Right.
Let them know what the Charlie Brown sorority feels
Yeah,
like.
put them in danger. Endanger the lives of your children.
Yeah, please go pregame with your kids, bring them
That's right.
trick-or-treating at night, and then send them to a party till all hours of the morning on a Thursday night. But here we are for Matt Santorpia
Heyo.
and Jim Mundy.
Heyo!
I am Mike Mundy, and we will see you next time. Heyo!
Take it easy.